Welcome to Kirby Star Allies, the first Kirby game I've played to completion, and coincidentally happens to be the easiest game I've played. And no, I'm not counting games like Jumpstart Math, mostly because I'm bad at math. Honestly, I was going to go into this review kind of hating on the game, but after a chat with some of my Forge buds, I have a different point of view to go off of. Of course, I have my own opinion, and I'll include a quick rebuttal at the end, but let's start with the atmosphere. The graphics are bright and colorful, and mostly smooth animations for almost everything make the characters look cute and bouncy, even the final boss. More on that later. The game runs at a consistent 30 frames per second, and I believe runs on the Unreal Engine, like a lot of the games coming out on the Switch, which is a bit sad, as with an engine that's quite powerful and the Switch not being a powerhouse, but still being able to run games like Mario Odyssey at 60 frames, you'd think they could pull the juice out of the Switch to get it at that sweet 60 frames per second. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful game to look at, and honestly the 30 FPS isn't annoying. This coming from someone who prefers a high frame rate and messes with graphic settings to achieve at least 60 FPS in every game I play. I just wish we could see a better focus on performance, even if it means a month or two later of release date. Anywho, level design is very samey. In a lot of the worlds, at times it felt like I was running through the same stage from the previous world with a different skin. Thankfully, not all levels are created equal, and there are some level designs that only stick around for one level. They let you have fun with the concept without making it feel like it has overstayed its welcome. The music in the game is nice and runs along well with some of the stages, but also forgettable. I'm not quite sure how it compares to the older titles in the series, but I have a feeling aside from pulling out some nostalgia with the use of some 16-bit sounds in some of the songs, it probably isn't the best. The character design in the game is a classic Kirby, with some new added enemies whose powers Kirby can attain by eating them, I think. Sucking up a chef gives Kirby a chef's hat and a one-time power that throws together all the regular enemies on the screen into a big melting pot, and where he proceeds to stir them into a nice meal for you and your team. Honestly, I'm beginning to believe Kirby is the Dahmer of the Nintendoverse. Oh yeah, notice I said team. An added vanilla ability to Kirby is the heart. He throws a nice glowing pink heart at select enemies to add them to his team of flesh-eating cannibal Popstar Avengers. Look, dude is a psychopath and he will stop at nothing until everyone loves each other almost as much as he loves eating everything and everyone. Moving on, some boss fights such as your run-in with King DDD reward you with the ability to go to a special unlockable level in each world to summon said boss to the fight with you. At least until they die. Then if you want them again, you have to run back, play a slot machine to get one, and I honestly only used this once or twice, as I felt the game was easy enough without a boss fighting by your side. Plus it was kind of sidetracked adventure doing so. I guess going back to the difficulty, overall I found the game too easy. I've said this before and I'll say it again. My skill level in games is pretty minimal, with a few exceptions. But when I play a game, I at least want to have a fair challenge so I can get better. I'm all about progress. But when the hardest part in the game is the final boss, and at that, it's just a minor difficulty spike that doesn't match the flow of the rest of the game, it's a little annoying. I found myself skipping bonus levels closer to the end of the game. From here on out, it's a bit spoilery, so proceed with caution. Ready? The final world in the game, Far-Flung Starlight Heroes, is the best part of the game. You revisit one level from each previous world with a difficult twist, as well as a boss stage afterwards matching said level. This is more of a boss gauntlet, and the bosses are easily the best part of the game. This time they each have a second phase, and it feels a little more epic as it feels like the final chase scene, where the "we meet again" meets "but this isn't my final form," and you're given the opportunity to rip the bosses another new one. Sadly, it's still not difficult. They just do more damage and look cooler. You still just spam your attack until their health drops, and having allies just makes their health bar drop faster. Honestly, just talking about this game has me as bored as it did just playing it. But we're here. It's the end, and the final boss is revealed, wrapping up the mystery of the whodunit, Highness Officiant of Doom. You and your squad roll in to find out that you're too late, as with the Jambashian mages at his side, their master plan has come to fruition. They're ready to take over the world. Enter the final boss, Void Termina, Destroyer of Worlds, powered by the essence of chaos, the Void Soul. Okay, I've been hating on the game, and even though it's still easy all throughout, this final boss is awesome. 4 phases made up of combat that's entirely different mechanic of the rest of the game. A third-person shooter, epic music, and explosions. Dodging attacks and taking down this beast in contrast is actually very fun and satisfying. Although at some point I had this feeling like, okay, I just beat the game, and roll credits, right? Wait, oh, sorry, another phase, let's do this. Beat it? Alright, let's see those credits. Oh, sorry, didn't see your phase there. Rinse and repeat. Like the rest of the game, the initial feeling wears off and you just get back to monotony. Thankfully it's not a whole other game and it does end, and I did feel a bit accomplished after. Save the world and ride off into the sunset. I'm honestly really disappointed. Being new to the Kirby series, I was really hoping this would be it. The game that makes me want to play all the others. My Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. Sadly, just the fact that it took me 4 hours to beat this game and left me with no motivation to play it, or any of its extra modes afterwards, is enough for me to say I can't recommend this game, unless you really enjoy Kirby and have some friends to play it with. I do want to end the review saying that my negatives aren't everyone's, and like I said at the beginning of the video, I got a different perspective. What if you just live stream Dark Souls for a few hours and you still want to play video games? You just don't want to have your soul repeatedly sucked out of you then spat right back in front of you with gross food bits mixed in. Or you just played some Super Meat Boy and its tense and fast-paced platforming has you worn out. This game is perfect for kicking back and relaxing afterwards. It does have a couch co-op, which I will say gives it a lot of points in my eyes. We really do need more of those. But it also has some fun minigames. My favorite being Star Slam Heroes. Charge up your hit and slam the meteor back into the shower, clashing with other bigly meteors to save the world. It's just a simple high score minigame, but playing it with friends, we found ourselves saying, okay, just one more. There's also a score trial where you go back and play the game as a different character, trying to earn the most points. Slightly reminiscent of Super Smash Bros. From last generation. And I'd say that as long as you enjoy the main game, there's a lot of replayability for you here. That being said, I'm going to give it a 2.5 playings out of 5, and sum up my review by saying, really glad Amazon let me return this. Thanks for watching!
It's the CrossForge Gaming merch store. You can buy this t-shirt, or this mug, or this phone case, or this long sleeve tee, or this hat, or this poster, or this hat with this t-shirt, or this poster with mug, or this hoodie with this phone case, or this t-shirt with this hat with this mug, or this hoodie with this phone case with this poster, or buy one of everything! The possibilities are endless! So click the link below this video to see all of our sweet swag.